guys, and welcome back to today's video. Only 2 more Vlogmases after this, which is really sad but kind of exciting. Today we're gonna be making sugar cookies, which actually I thought I knew how to make these, and then I was looking at the recipe this morning and turns out I don't. Like, I didn't know you had to chill them in the fridge for a while. So it's really early. It's literally a Sunday right now. It's the 23rd when I'm filming this, and it is 7:54 a.m. Because I'm a loyal follower of Food Network, I'm going to be following the Alton Brown recipe, 4.5 stars. So I'm gonna go get the ingredients and I'll be back in a bit. So I have all the ingredients laid out here. I have my flour, my sugar, my salt, my butter, baking powder. They say you need milk and an egg. So now I'm just going to put the necessary ingredients in this bowl and mix it. All right, so this recipe called for 3 cups of flour. Next, they want 3/4 tablespoon of baking powder, and I just eyeball this. I've been eyeballing like baking powder and stuff like that for years now, and it's always turned out fine. Now they want 1/4 teaspoon of salt, so I just eyeball it also. Put about this much, not too much. When I was taking a Patriots class, they told me that salt is really important. It brings out the sweetness. Now I'm just gonna take this rubber thing, I don't know, spatula, and mix it around slightly. And now we're just gonna set this aside for a little bit. This is such a side note, but I love applesauce so much. Oh my god, I love it. Alright, now I have this electric stand mixture, and we're going to whisk together a cup of butter, which is 8 ounces, and a cup of sugar. So we're just gonna whisk that together. Alright, you can see we have that lovely mixture forming right there. So now we're just going to put in 1 egg and a tablespoon of milk. A lot of it's going to be sticking to the side, so you can take this spatula and scrape it off the edges. It should look like this before you add your egg and your milk. Alright, once you've let that combine, you're going to take your flour mixture and slowly pour it in as it is whisking on low speed. I just stopped the mixture for a little bit so I could scrape all the dough that has formed in a ball up here, and then I'm just going to add the rest. Now I'm just gonna mix the rest together until we have a good dough. Alright, I think we have our dough. It looks a little something like this. Now I'm just going to separate it into 2 and wrap it in some wax paper and put it in the fridge to chill for 2 hours. Alright, so I have half of my dough here. You want to leave the other half in the fridge so it doesn't melt. And then I have all the cookie cutters. It looks like a lot, but we have so many cookie cutters. I don't know why, but we have a ton. So I have my rolling pin, and I don't know what this is called, like a cutter, and we're going to cut the dough to make it easier to roll. So it said on the recipe to use powdered sugar, but we don't have any powdered sugar. So I'm going to use flour, which has worked just fine in the past. When you put it on your workspace, you know, it can be your counter, but that gets a little bit messy. So I just put it on this lovely board. I don't know what it's called, a cutting board. You're gonna put your dough on there, and then you're also going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on the rolling pin before you roll out your dough. You know, it's still chilled, so you're gonna want to make this easier to roll out. So you're just going to cut the dough in little pieces like so, and you're going to roll it out to be a 1/4 inch thick. We've had a little bit of a struggle here. The rolling pin is not the best method. It gets stuck. Like, as you can see, there's dough stuck all over. So you want to take your hands and knead it into your workspace until it's like thick, because originally these are all the cookies that I made. They're my guinea pig cookies. You can see the gift is very thin, so it's not going to bake as well as maybe this gingerbread, who is the perfect thickness. What you want to do is press down with your hands until, you know, it kind of bounces back. It's a little bit thick. Ooh, what are we going to make? Let's make a gift. So you're just going to press it down on your dough, and to make sure it turned out really nicely, you're gonna want to remove all the dough. This is kind of a long and tedious process because you have to do this for every cookie, but it's going to be worth it and your cookies will not turn out like a blob of goo. Remove your gift, and instead of picking up with your hand, do not pick it up with your hand. You want to take a tool like this. This is the best tool ever. Betty Crocker, love it. You're going to go underneath the dough and just kind of work your way through it until the cookie is on the thing. And you're just going to put it on your plate or your baking tin, whatever it is. I put it all on a plate first and then I put it on a baking tin later. And that is how you do it. These are my guinea pig cookies. As you can see, they're a little bit lumpy. I'm gonna put these in at 350 for 8 to 10 minutes and we'll see how they turn out. But my second batch with the colder dough is turning out really well so far. So this is my first batch of sugar cookies. It took a lot longer than 9 minutes because I put them in at 350 and not 375, which is what the recipe called for. And apparently that's a mistake. I didn't know that. But you know what? They turned out. You know, they're still brown, golden brown on the bottom, and they look really cute. Here are the second batch of cookies. As you can see, they look a lot better than the first batch. They're a little cracked, but we're gonna fix that with frosting. I'm gonna let these cool before we decorate them and make them look pretty. So I have my cookies here. I put them all on one plate, and I have an empty plate here. Yes, I know I changed. And this Christmas sweater is so adorable. I just went to the store and I picked up some white icing and some little gel black icing, and then I also got some candy eyeballs, and then I have a bunch of sprinkles. So usually what I do is I just put a thin layer of icing and put sprinkles on it. This is the first cookie I decorated. Very boring, but I think it's so cute. Mom, what do you think of this cookie?
I love it. I was looking at it.
See? Mom approved. Here is the start of an elf that I made using those googly eyes, and as you can see, it's kind of scary. I kind of like it though. It's kind of a unique looking elf. Alright guys, so those were the cookies that I made. This has been an all-day event. I literally started at 7:30. It is 5 p.m. now. I'm trying to rush and edit this video in like 30 minutes because I'm going out to dinner. It was really fun, and my dad and my grandmother helped me decorate them. If you guys enjoyed this video, it was a little bit different, and I am going to go ahead and go, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!